I'm about to just be dehydrated on this call. That's terrible. Okay. All right, y'all. I am so sorry about earlier today because I actually had a bunch of back-to-back phone calls, but I'm really glad that we're going to have this conversation tonight because I have spent some time, okay, since the first week of October until last week, I've been traveling every single week, focusing on serving others. So it's been a real pleasure. I was honestly exhausted, but I'm very grateful to have spent the time pouring into other communities, getting to travel and spread the word of entrepreneurship, what that looks like, spread the word of financial literacy, what that looks like. And when I got back, I had so many people who were reaching out to me and they had all these different questions like, sis, we're in the last quarter of the year. I'm preparing for the new year. Can you help me? And the more that I thought about this, and I was like, dang, well, if my community's asking me about this and they're ready to get focused for the new year, and my one-on-one clients are asking me about this, then probably more people out there who really want to position themselves for a new season in their life come 2023. And instead of waiting for December to have the conversation, I think it's high time that we start introducing this conversation now. Okay. When you are in a place where you know that you are uncomfortable, when you are in a place where you feel like you're ready to grow, but you don't have guidance, this is the time and the space where the biggest outcome is going to come from you if you are able to push through it. Okay. So when I talk about it's time for your breakthrough, I went ahead and I looked up the definition of what exactly does a breakthrough mean. Okay. Because if you guys don't know, February the 24th through the 26th, I'm having my very first event. I've got a bunch of my finance friends, a bunch of my business friends, and we're coming together to pour into you so that you can experience your very own breakthrough. So, what exactly does a breakthrough mean? Well, by definition, and I have the definition right here so I don't mess this up. Okay, a breakthrough is a sudden, dramatic, and important discovery or development. It can also be an instant of achieving success in a particular sphere or activity. So when you're talking about having a breakthrough within self, you're talking about breaking past the limiting barriers that you place on yourself, telling yourself you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're not where you need to be in life yet to help anyone or doing those things, breaking past all those limiting conversations that you have with yourself and breaking into the person that you feel like you're called to become, breaking into the space that you are desiring to be, breaking into if it's a new career field, if it's a new place within business and starting that, if it's a new place financially, breaking through into where you are supposed to be. Because if we keep these same habits and behaviors that we've kept all year long, dare I say, even the year before, we're never going to get to where we truly desire to be. And I'm not talking about wealth here. I know a lot of people associate my brand with finances because I do teach financial literacy, but you can break through a new mental space. You can break through into being comfortable with yourself. Okay, so it's not just talking about being in a new financial space, but if that is your desire, oh, thank you so much for buying a badge. I appreciate you. If that is your desire, what does that look like for you? And what has kept you from moving to the next step? Is it that you're telling yourself you're ready to grow? You're telling yourself you're ready to change. You're telling yourself you're ready to go to the next level, but you've yet to create an action plan around that. Or you've created the action plan, but you failed to do the act so that it can come to pass. I know a lot of us, we have checklists, we've got goals, we've got vision boards, we have conversations that we're having, but doing all those things and not acting on them is exactly the reason why you have yet to accomplish the things that you know that you can do. If you're having wealthy conversations and you're not taking the actions to build wealth, You know that you are capable of doing the things, but you need to identify what's holding you back from actually achieving them. Okay. The conversations are just the start. The conversations begin to trigger different things in your mindset that then say, if I talk about it enough, maybe, just maybe, I will actually go out and do the thing. I know a lot of people who talk the wealth game in network marketing. I know a lot of people who talk the wealth game in life insurance. I know a lot of people who talk the wealth game in finance. I know a lot of people who talked it. But the data suggests what the data suggests, and that is there's a lot of talking and not a lot of doing. So how are you going to break through into this new desired level of your life? And I'm so grateful that I took some time away from social media because I got really, really involved with reading different literature. The current one that I'm reading right now is called Failing Forward. And a part of breaking through into your next level of success is identifying that you are not a failure, less things have just transpired in your life for you to learn from that maybe you haven't learned from. But you yourself, in the act of the things that may not have worked out for you, does not make you in itself a failure. The act of failing at something is more so just a lesson that needs to be learned so you don't repeat it. So if your goal has always been to say, I'm going to save $1, I'm going to save $1,000, but then every time you get close to saving $1,000, you start feeling like you need to treat yourself, or this random emergency comes up that you can't control, but yet it keeps happening and you haven't learned how to pivot or navigate around it. It's not that you can't save $1,000. It's that you are not learning the lessons necessary to pivot around what's happening so that you can save the $1,000. There's this one story that John C. Maxwell kind of put into his book, Failing Forward. That's the one I'm reading right now. And in the recent chapter, he talked about how you have different levels in failure, right? And until you really learn from it, that's the only way you're really going to decide to do something different. So the first time he was like, hey, I walked into this hole. I fell in the hole. I kept walking because I didn't know where I was going. So I fell in another hole. The second one was I walked in this hole. I fell in the hole. I looked around, but I didn't move forward. The third one was I walked in the hole. I fell in the hole. I stood still. The fourth one was I walked in the hole. The fifth one was I went down a different street. I didn't walk in the hole at all. Right? So it's like you keep going down these same lanes, wanting a different result. But if you want something to change, you got to make a personal decision that it's going to shift. So if it's in business, and I talk with so many people, they're like, oh, sis, you've been able to create a successful online brand. How have you been able to do this in such a short period of time? I'm like, for you, it's been a short period of time because you're finally seeing roots that have sprouted. But for me, this has been years of failing in entrepreneurship since 2013. Okay. And I finally started learning from the mistakes that I was making in business. And I finally started to apply what I was learning from those mistakes. I continued to focus on failing forward. And so at every level that I broke through to a new level of success was because I learned from the mistakes prior. And I didn't let the fear of failing hold me back from breaking through to my new level. I thought I was going to have a career in criminal justice. I thought that that's where I was going to be designed to be. But life would so have it that that didn't work out that way. I ended up working in corrections. Okay. From there, I was a stay-at-home mom because an inmate fell on my stomach. So I was put on bed rest for the duration of my pregnancy. So I became a stay-at-home mom, but I needed to make money. And I had a whole degree making $7.25 an hour, but I knew that I was smarter than my situation. I knew that if I could strategize and figure this out, that I would be able to change what that current financial picture looked like for me. So I began to open an in-home daycare. Okay, I strategized and I failed miserably at it. But I still had a desire to go out and be an entrepreneur. So years later, I had my turn in entrepreneurship again. After the birth of my last daughter, I decided I wanted to go into be a personal trainer. And this is when I got into this whole, fitness and finance thing that y'all might have seen around Facebook. Okay, so I got into that. And I was good at it for a short period of time. And then I started training people. Okay. And then I eventually opened up the first women's only gym with child care in my city. I took the lessons that were failed lessons from when I had my in-home daycare and I applied it to my actual business. Then, yet and still, I didn't have money management on my side. That was a skill set that I had yet acquired. I could make money, but I wasn't that great at managing the money. So when I got into a car accident and I lost literally everything, that was another lesson that I had to learn. Did I stop at being an entrepreneur? Did I give up? Or did I hustle and grind to figure out where I was financially and then start learning from those decisions? Okay. And I said that I'm going to start leveraging this full-time income and I just want to teach people. That's all I want to do. Once I got my finances together, I learned from that failure of not having my money where it needed to be. People started to want to learn from me. I got my savings accounts up. I got my investment portfolios up. Then people started wanting to learn from me. And then I started attending wealth mindset seminars. I started volunteering, okay, because I couldn't necessarily afford to be in some of those spaces. So learning from people like Bob Proctor, David Imonitie, John C. Maxwell, these types of people, I started working on my mindset because I needed to learn what I didn't know so I could reach places that I've never been. So when I did lose my job as a banker, I had all of these skill sets that piled up from all of these previous failed attempts at being an entrepreneur that allowed what looked like a very short period of time of success that allowed it to happen from 2013 to 2022. But y'all who came on my platform have only noticed me from 2022 or 2020 or 2021 to 2022. It has not been a year's worth of growth, even though it may seem like it. It's been 10 years worth of growth, 10 years worth of failing, 10 years worth of learning from those mistakes, 10 years from really trying to decide that I'm tired of pushing the envelope and it not working and then saying, oh, well, I guess this isn't for me. You know, when you're called to a different position in your life, you just might need to learn the lessons that's going to take you to where you feel like you're called to be. So some of you need to break through those limiting mindset. Some of you need to break through those barriers that you're placing around yourself that said, I failed at this. I guess this entrepreneurship thing isn't for me. I failed at this. I guess I'm not supposed to be building wealth for my family. It just didn't work out. That stock investment didn't work out. That crypto investment didn't work out. That company didn't work out. So I'm just going to stop. And I'm just going to focus on everyday life. And then you're going to continue focusing on everyday life. And then 30 years or 20 years or 10 years are going to pass by and you're going to be in the exact same financial situation. You're not going to feel fulfilled as an individual. You're not going to create the impact or the level of impact that you feel like you were called to create because you let an instant that was meant to be a lesson be your stopping point. So if you're somebody that's like, that's me, sis, that's me, I'm tired of it, then it's high time that you break through what you're going through and get over yourself. You're not the only person that's gone through stuff. You're not the only person with a story. You're not the only person who's been broke. You're not the only person who's been hungry. You're not the only person that's had their power or lights cut off. You're not the only person that, maybe have had to not have so their kids could have. The woe is me. So if I can be truthful with y'all, nobody cares until they see it on the other end. Nobody cares until they see that you push past the woe is me to create something. And then you go back and you help. But as long as you stick in the woe is me and you make yourself a victim of a situation that you have continued to perpetuate, nothing is going to change at all. The data is the data. And it stinks. And the only way that we're going to change it is if we move from the excuse mindset and take on the accountability mindset. And the only way that that's going to happen is if you start breaking through and breaking past limiting barriers that you're placing around yourself that is continuing to hold you back. We all have a childhood. We all have situations that have happened to us maybe in adulthood, and it might not have served us well. But if you don't work on healing and learning and moving past it and growing and developing and learning how you can take those situations and turn them into whatever it's supposed to be for you, you are never going to reach where you're supposed to be. So I want you to experience your breakthrough. I want you to experience your breakthrough. I want you to take a moment and acknowledge where you are financially. I want you to take a moment and acknowledge where you are right now in your life and say, this is not going to be my picture next year. This may be my Q4, but this won't be my Q1 next year. This may be where I'm at right now, but I'm not going to be here next year. So take inventory of your current situation. And then I want you to write down everything that is not serving you in your current situation. I want you to write a list of them. It doesn't have to be a specific number. Maybe for you, it's only 2 or 3 things. Maybe for somebody else, it's 10 things. And then on the very opposite side of that paper, I want you to write what's the action that you're going to take to change the current situation. And then on the other side of that column, so you have 3 now, I want you to write a date. Not a date to feel pressure, but a date to say, I'm going to work on these things. Maybe it's you reading a book you've never read before that focuses on personal development and mindset. Maybe it's you changing your morning routine so you're feeding into yourself before you have to get on with the busyness of the day with the kids and work. Maybe it's you saying, I'm going to take a hard look at my finances and determine what needs to be done, because what I'm doing is not working right now. Maybe it's you saying, the career space that I'm in right now really isn't serving me right now, and I need to make some other decisions. So I want you to experience your breakthrough. I've been in the position to where my power's been cut off. I've been in the position, okay, to where, we needed food stamps and couldn't qualify for them. I've been there. But I want you guys to move into your breakthrough. I want you guys to experience a very uncomfortable but beautiful growth. And if you want to have an instance of achieving success in a particular activity, it's going to take the accountability, and it's going to take you saying, I am not a failure, less things have happened to me or experiences that I've gone through to create a different version of me so that I can serve who I need to serve, or I can become who I need to become. But you yourself are not a failure. There's nothing that you've done that makes you yourself a failure. And I failed at a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm probably still going to fail at a whole bunch of stuff, because I still have goals that I want to reach, and I have mistakes that I need to make in order to get there. And I look for the mistakes, because the mistakes are the only thing that's going to make me better. I look for the growth points. There's never been, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but when do we correct ourselves most? It's when we do something wrong. If our boss comes to us and they're like, hey, this wasn't correct, you go back and you say, oh, okay, my bad. Now, every other time you're double checking to make sure that that one specific thing that your boss said that you did wrong, you went back and you double check to make sure that it's correct, because you're correcting an error so it doesn't happen again in the future. You'll learn from it, so now you can grow from it. The same thing has to happen in your life when it comes to your finances. The same thing has to happen in your life when it comes to your business. If you do a launch and it fails, analyze why the launch failed and launch again. If you have a debt repayment plan and you failed on sticking to your debt repayment plan, analyze what went wrong and get back to it and do it again. But it's all about not giving up. It's all about being determined that you're going to get your end result, because either way, it's going to be hard. Either way, the pursuit of end result is just as difficult as not pursuing the result. Because being comfortable in whatever situation you're in is going to cost you time, and it's going to cost you wherever you're supposed to be. Being in the pursuit is going to cost you time, but you're getting closer. And if we want to relate this to finances, being broke is more expensive than being wealthy. Being broke is attached to higher interest rates. Being broke is attached to what? Having to deal with more issues with inflation. Being wealthy, you have loopholes, you have businesses you can create, you have 501c3s you can funnel your money through, right? There's more loopholes and avenues for wealthy than there is being in a financially struggling situation, if you want to attach it to finance. But I want to see you guys do well, okay? Okay, so big announcement, February the 24th through the 26th. You have to be in the room. This is in Atlanta, Georgia. In Atlanta, Georgia, we are going to go through breaking past those limiting mindsets, breaking past those limiting barriers, right? Those limiting mental barriers we put on ourselves. We're going to get our life together financially through the lane of looking at money management, credit, taxes, life insurance, wealth preservation through building a trust and through building a trust and an estate plan. Okay. And then we're going to go into increasing your income by leveraging social media through creating a business that you love. These speakers that are going to be there, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You guys will be seeing more details coming out soon. The tickets are currently on pre-sale. But when I tell you this event is going to change some lives, I'm so grateful that I spent as much time as I did pouring into other people, networking the way that I have, because the people who are coming to show up to this event, you do not want to miss. They're some of your favorite people in finance, some of your favorite people in business, and they're showing up. So I'm so grateful. I'm so excited for everyone who's already purchased a ticket on pre-sale. The VIP seats, there's only a total of 20 VIP seats. However, some of those have already been sold. And the VIP seats come with I'll give you guys just a few of the things it comes with. We're having a VIP night on Friday, where we're going to go out and do some fun things together. That's included in it. Saturday night after the event, you guys already have priority seating. You got some special things that come with that and the priority seating. Then after the event on Saturday, we are all going out to an all-white affair dinner. It's a VIP 5-star dinner experience. So I'm super excited about that. And then on Sunday, we are having an intensive money management and investment day to close everything out around 2 p.m. So this is about to be a lit situation. I can't wait. So if you're someone who's like, sis, I want to get in front of this, where can I get the tickets? What do I need to do? If you're watching on Instagram, I need you to comment in the chat sale, or you can comment in the chat Black Friday, because not only are you going to get access to being on the wait list for the Black Friday sale that I'm having, because I'm getting rid of, I'm retiring a lot of things that I have done, a lot of the products that I've created, the classes that I've taught as I move into my new Q1. So you're getting over 70% off of literally everything that I have. And so that's this Black Friday's special. I'm super excited about it. So comment sale to get on the wait list for that. And then those who also get on the wait list for the Black Friday sale, you guys will have access to a very special event discount if you are planning on attending the Breakthrough in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm super excited. You can comment sale, you can comment Black Friday. I cannot wait to see y'all there. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And I'm ready for you guys to have your breakthrough. I'm ready for you guys to experience that. I'm ready for you guys to let go of doubt and fear and worry and all of those things and just move into who you feel like you're called to be. Right? Like, I feel so grateful when people recognize me in public and they be like, oh, you're the bougie banker girl. You inspire me, or you do this and you do that. And I'm sitting there in just as much awe as the person who recognizes me, because I'm like, God did this. Me not giving up did this. Like, What? It's so special to me. And I'm so appreciative and I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful for the vision that God gave me for this event because I know that it's going to really help a lot of people. So that is going to pretty much do it for me. I'm going to end my live stream on all these other platforms, and then I'm going to come hang out with you guys. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Debt Free Dad, Marquis, I appreciate you guys. I hope to see y'all at the event. Kenneth, Marquis, yes, all y'all. I'm so grateful for y'all. Okay, let's see. Let me end that.